Hi everyone, welcome to Lola's Frugal Life. This is episode number 326, and this is my weekly meal plan episode. So please stick around for a few quick words from our sponsor, and we'll get right into the show. Hi everyone, welcome back to my weekly meal plan episode. If you haven't listened to this before, this is just an episode where I share with everyone what is on my family's meal plan for the upcoming week. There's also a blog post on my website at lolasfrugallife.com where you can find links to any recipes that I mention in this podcast. It's posted each week along with the episode. So there's links to any recipes that I mention in here that have like an actual website that you can go to if you're interested in making that recipe for the things that have recipes. The reason I share my meal plan is just kind of to help motivate you to create a meal plan. Meal planning has saved me so much time and money over the course of years, and it's also really just made my life easier by knowing what we're going to eat on any given night, because I used to always stress over trying to figure out what to make for dinner, and I also used to stress a lot about meal planning, and I have solved that for myself by creating a really simple meal rotation where I do rotate a lot of the recipes fairly frequently. So you're not always going to find a whole lot of new recipes each week, but I do try and add in some new things when I have the time and when I can. So this week's meal plan starts on Saturday, August 6th. So for Saturday, I'm going to be doing grilled chicken thighs and brats on the grill. For the grilled chicken thighs, I don't really have a recipe. I just get the boneless chicken thighs and I just brush them with some barbecue sauce and grill them. They cook up pretty quick. And then the brats, I just said they were going to go on the grill, but they're actually not going to go in the grill. I do those in the air fryer because I think they come out so perfect in the air fryer. Same thing with sausage. Instead of putting it on the grill, I do them in the air fryer now. I think it's like 360 degrees for about like 15-ish minutes. You just got to kind of keep an eye on them and see when they're at the right doneness. You can tell like by how brown the skin gets on the outside. But they don't burn. Maybe it's just that I don't know how to cook on the grill properly, but whenever I try and do like brats or sausage or something like that, I always wind up getting those burn lines on them, and like you have to keep turning them, and I don't know. That's just my experience, but when I do them in the air fryer, they come out perfect. So that's how I cook them. So I'll have those going in the air fryer while I'm doing the chicken on the grill. And then for a side, I'm going to be doing pasta with tomatoes, basil, and garlic, which is from cupofjoe.com. And I'm actually really excited about making this recipe because I have a ton of cherry tomatoes in my backyard right now, and I have a ton of fresh basil also, which are the two main ingredients in this recipe. So that will be like a nice side dish to go along with the grilled chicken and the brats. For Sunday, I'm doing one pot creamy pesto chicken. This is from budgetbites.com, and it's just like it sounds. It's a one pot meal with chicken and like a creamy pesto sauce with pasta. So that is for Sunday. For Monday, we're doing hamburgers. I do this every other week on Monday. I don't really have a recipe for the hamburgers. I just make hamburger patties with the ground beef. Sometimes I season it with McCormick hamburger seasoning. Sometimes I don't. And I'll either throw them on the grill or cook them in a frying pan, depending on the weather. And then I'm also going to be doing oven fresh seasoned potato wedges, which is from allrecipes.com. It's just like you just take potatoes and cut them into wedges, and you toss them in a Ziploc bag with some olive oil and Parmesan cheese and some other seasonings, and then you bake them in the oven. If it's too hot, sometimes instead of that, I'll just cut up some potatoes and cook them up in the air fryer as a side dish. And then I'm also going to be doing a caprese salad, which is from allrecipes.com. It's just your typical fresh mozzarella with cherry tomatoes and basil and olive oil. And again, that's going to be using up some of those fresh tomatoes and basil that I have in the backyard. For Tuesday, we're going to be doing tacos. We always do some kind of Mexican theme on Tuesday, so this week is tacos. I don't really have a recipe to share for that. I just use ground turkey, and I just cook it up in a frying pan. I don't even use taco seasoning. I just season it with some seasoned salt and some chili powder, and everyone seems to like it. And then I'll just put out, the typical, some hard shells, some soft shells, some shredded cheese, sour cream, avocado, taco sauce. I feel like I'm forgetting something, but all your typical taco sides. So that is for Tuesday. For Wednesday, I'm doing bacon wrapped shrimp. We do this every few weeks. We usually do seafood on Wednesdays. So this is from allrecipes.com, and it's a really simple way to make shrimp. We really like how it comes out. I don't wrap the shrimp in the bacon. I actually just cut the bacon up and lay it over the top of the shrimp, kind of like a sheet pan meal, and it's just much easier, and it comes out just the same. You just grab a piece of bacon and grab a piece of shrimp, and you have the same thing as if you had wrapped it. As a side dish, I am doing 5 ingredient simple green pasta salad from pinchofyum.com. I really like this salad. It's made with ditalini pasta and green beans, and then I think you use, was it just basil and olive oil? I forget if, yeah, this isn't this might have pesto in it. It calls for like a, it says 1 jar of Oliver's and Company basilic, which is a basil and olive oil spread. I don't remember if I might have actually even just put pesto in here or if I just did like the olive oil or whatever. I don't really remember, but anyways, I just kind of wasn't really sure what it meant by the, Hey, sorry about that. I had to actually stop recording in the middle of when I was speaking because I realized I had an alarm set and it kept going off on my watch, and I was having trouble like hitting it off while talking. Kind of like a weird, I don't know, whatever. I couldn't get it to shut off. But anyhow, so with that recipe, I didn't really know what that product was, the olive and basil spread. But anyway, so I can't even remember. I might have either just done like basil and olive oil, or I might have put like pesto in the salad. I don't remember. But either way, it comes out really good. You can kind of, you know, do that part as you, whatever you think would taste good. Then for Thursday, we always do either breakfast for dinner or soup and grilled cheese because I go grocery shopping that night. So I try to keep the meal prep pretty quick and easy. For this week, I'm going to be doing slow cooker corn chowder, which is from damndelicious.net. You basically just cook the corn and potatoes, and I think it's got some broth in there, obviously, all day. And then at the end, you take an immersion blender and just kind of blend it up a little bit so that it gets to whatever consistency you like. If you like it a little chunkier or not, whatever, you can kind of just blend it to how you like it. And then I'm going to just make some grilled cheese sandwiches on the side to go with that. So the last meal on this week's meal plan is for Friday, August 12th, and that is going to be tender Italian baked chicken. That's from allrecipes.com. This is a recipe where you just take chicken breast and you kind of coat it in mayo, and then you dip it in breadcrumbs and Parmesan cheese and bake it in the oven, and it comes out real tender. Everybody likes it in my house. I haven't made it in a while. So I'm going to do that, and then on the side I'm going to do baked feta pasta, which is from feelgoodfoodie.net. This is a new recipe I have not made yet, and this also calls for cherry tomatoes. So I hope I don't wind up running out of cherry tomatoes by the end of the week, but I do kind of have a lot out there, so hopefully as I pick the ripe ones, more will ripen so that I don't run out by the time I get to this recipe. But anyway, so this is basically just like a pasta, and I think you kind of mix the pasta and the feta cheese. I'm not really sure. I didn't thoroughly read the ingredients with this dish, honestly, and I haven't made it yet before, but it looked like it would make a good side dish to go with the Italian baked chicken. So that is it for this week's meal plan. I hope this was helpful or motivational to you. Maybe you could make 1 or 2 of the recipes. I would love to hear if you do. One person recently shared with me that she made the bacon wrap shrimp and fried rice, which was fun to hear because I always wonder if anyone actually makes any of these meals that I share. So I would love to hear from you if you do, and if you like a recipe, or if you even have a favorite recipe that you would like me to try and include on the podcast, I would love to do that too. So that's it for this episode. I will see you here next week. So thank you for checking in for this podcast episode, and don't forget, you can always email me with any questions or suggestions at lolasfrugallife@gmail.com. You can follow me on Instagram and Facebook at Lola's Frugal Life. And you can find a blog post for most of my episodes and definitely all of my meal plan episodes at lolasfrugallife.com. You can also join our private listeners group at facebook.com/groups/lolasfrugallife. And if you enjoy the show, please make sure to subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you listen from. And I would love it if you would screenshot the show and tag me on Instagram so I could see you're listening. Also, if you can please take a couple of seconds to rate and review the podcast, those ratings and reviews are what help the show come up better in search results so that other people can find this podcast. So that will really help me in growing my audience. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you have an awesome day. Hello, so you've made it all the way to the very, very end of this episode. I just want to say thank you one more time for listening, and don't forget you can always go to my website at lolasfrugallife.com where you can find all the ways you can reach me, all the blog posts for the episodes, and any other information you might be looking for related to Lola's Frugal Life. So thanks again for listening, and have a great day.